This is the first of a series of supplemental video lessons to provide students with a depth of knowledge on some legal aspects of procurement and contracts. Much of the English-speaking world traces its courts and legal system back to jolly old England, including the United States federal government and 49 of its 50 states, Louisiana being the exception. We follow common law, meaning once a court rules on how to interpret a law, the other peer and subordinate courts must follow the same interpretation. This is called a precedent. In common law, there is a distinction between public and private law. Public law is for disputes between a person and the government. When you commit a crime, there is a dispute between you and the government. The government, through a prosecutor, is a participant in the dispute, arguing for the government's position. Private law is when there is a dispute between two individuals or corporations. Two private parties have a dispute and ask a court to decide for them. Procurement and contract disputes are private law disputes under a sub-branch called law of obligation, which put simply means one party has an obligation to do something or not do something, and a court can compel a person or company to fulfill that obligation. Let's review the Harley versus Eddingfield case of 1901. Mrs. Burke went into labor at her father's house. It was a difficult labor, so the family sent for their longtime family doctor. They even sent an advance payment for his services. However, the doctor refused. It's worth noting that he is a state licensed physician that requires their physicians to provide medical assistance to everyone. This case is tragic, as both the mother and child died. Mr. Hurley, the mother's father, sued Dr. Eddingfield as liable for the two wrongful deaths. So Hurley and Eddingfield have a dispute. Hurley's position is that the family doctor had an obligation, as they sent payment for his services and the doctor had cared for their family for many years. Pause the video and make your decision. Did Dr. Eddingfield fail to meet his obligations, and should Hurley be compensated? This is a question of obligation. Was the family doctor under contract? Can a licensed physician refuse to help? For that matter, should any person be obligated to help others? Recall that this dispute is between two parties, not the government, so it falls under private law. The court determined that while tragic, Dr. Eddingfield had no contractual obligation. There was an offer, but the doctor never accepted. You cannot compel someone into a contractual agreement. The doctor, and anyone, can decline any contract offer. Note, this decision only concerns the dispute between Harley and Eddingfield under private law. Eddingfield may well have some disputes to address with the government under public law, such as does the doctor get to keep his medical license for refusing treatment. Let's review a second case, Upton versus Powell. Mr. Powell's barn caught fire, so he called the Upton Police Department. This was all pre-911. The police dispatcher called out the local Upton Fire Brigade, probably a volunteer group funded by the city. The fire brigade responded, put the fire out, and this might be a story with a happy ending. However, after the fire was put out, people figured out that Powell's barn was located outside of the fire district, meaning it was not a free service, and the brigade wanted paid for their work. Powell's position was he assumed it was a free service. He didn't know where his barn was located, and he never made a contractual agreement. Pause the video and make your decision. Is Powell obligated to pay? Was there a contractual obligation when Powell called for assistance? This is a question of contractual duty. Is a person obligated to pay for a service if they thought the service was free? The court determined that Powell made a contractual offer when he called for assistance. If a party requests and receives a service, they are obligated to pay for that service, even if they might have thought it was a free service. Feel free to read more about these two cases from these sources. If you would like to discuss the cases with your peers or instructor, just join the discussion board.